What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, coming from the museum today on a very early Saturday morning, guys. Still working on my first cup of coffee here. But we have some fun lineups of videos for you, and we wanted to kind of kick things off with this really cool video, a request from one of our awesome subscribers, David Miller. David Miller had a fantastic idea for a video that he shared with me, and it was basically he wanted to know what my idea of good packaging for boxed and carded figures are. What do I consider a good packaging for toys, basically. Different types, box, carded, you name it. And how I felt about that, especially being an M.I.B. collector. So I want to share with you today some of my ideas of great to good to okay packaging for toys, for boxed and carded figures. It's important, guys, because it determines, as a consumer, as a collector, how we purchase our toys. If we decide to purchase our toys, it determines everything. Card art, display, all of that plays a huge part in really gaining our attention. And more so for me, being an M.I.B. collector, it's very important. I don't take anything out, ever. So display value is top priority for me, along with durability. The card, the box, everything has to be durable, but at the same time has to be display friendly. A lot of that goes in, and I know some people say, well, what difference does it make? It doesn't make a difference to anyone that's going to take, the figure out of the box or off the card. They could care less. And yet some people do. It does matter, because it affects how you spend your money. It affects, what you want to buy. You see something on a toy store shelf, and you have, hundreds of toys vying for your attention. So everything from box art to design of the box, how cool the box or the carded figure looks, to how the figure is displayed inside. That all matters, As humans, we're very visual. So we want to be enticed when we're making our purchases. And when we were kids, that played a huge part. The crazier looking the toy, the more colorful the toy, we wanted it. From military to space to aliens to vehicles. However that toy was packaged, that's what we were looking for as kids. It got our attention. So with that being said, we're going to be going through a lot of different toys for you guys, and you get to see some cool figures you might not have seen in a while here at the museum. On top of that, that's just an added bonus, right? We'll start with this G.I. Joe figure, and I brought him up here, my jungle tunnel rat, because he by far has one of the most beautiful cards and packaging systems I've ever seen. And what's so special about this, and we'll start with the durability aspects of this card. For one, it's encased in heavy duty plastic, and it's reinforced. And yet it's clear and wide open, where you have a fantastic view of the figure displayed in there beautifully with all of the his equipment, essentials, everything he needs right out here in plain view. And that played a huge part in me wanting to really purchase this figure. Now, would I've gotten them anyway? Probably so, but the thing is, being an M.I.B collector, I'm not taking them out, so I'm looking at longevity and durability. And what makes this card so awesome is the fact that it's not set up like your typical glued on the back of the card type figure. You have a locking system here of heavy duty plastic that folds around the card, and then they taped it here along the sides with heavy duty tape, locking this figure in really good, extremely good. And I know that because we've had this. Let's get you a year on here. 2003. Where we're at 2021, and this card has stood the test of time. It stood the test of time. It shows no signs of damage. It shows no signs of where the card is going to start to deteriorate and break down. So purchasing this and at Toys R Us back in 2003, and nearly 20 years later, we're 2 years shy of this figure being 20 years old. The packaging is held up beautifully, and as an M.I.B collector, that's what I'm looking for. And like I said, that makes for an absolutely beautiful package for an action figure. We'll slide over here. Let's slide over here to our, I call it, these are essentially called coffin boxes because they're stretched out in such a way where the figure lies down inside of them, as you can see. This is from our G.I. Joe Club exclusive figures here. This is our talking action soldier. You see he's placed in there quite nicely. This is another fantastic boxed packaging system, if you will. I personally wouldn't mind if all of my action figures came in this style box. For one, you can lift it up. It's protected. This is heavy duty material for this box here. Very heavy material. You can see how the figure is secured in there beautifully. Brand new. He's never been out of his package, actually. Everything's separate. See, and for all you guys that with the batteries that complain about batteries being left inside of the figure, where it'll degrade the figure and break down and corrode the figure and all that stuff. See, they're out, and they're packaged separately, individually, away from the figure, so it won't do any harm to the figure itself. But the coffin box is one of my all-time favorites, and I think it's one of the all-time favorites for a lot of collectors, especially if you're a G.I. Joe collector. These coffin boxes are fantastic. Got my G.I. Joe adventurer here. Here, I'll open him up for you. It's just a fantastic packaging system. Can't lose, guys. Then we come over here. purchased this from my good buddy Lonnie Fisher. Lonnie Fisher. I purchased this from him back at the 2019 Mego meet in Columbus, Ohio. Lonnie, it's still mint in box. It's still in fantastic condition. But I want to give Lonnie a shout out. He's one of the best customizers in the world. He didn't customize this. This is actual figure, but he's still one of the best customizers in the world. This is from Zyka Toys, actually. Buck Rogers, 25th century. Zyka Toys. And this is another fantastic packaging system, box packaging system. It's almost as similar. It's similar to the Coffin Boxes, but this one stands upright. You can see Buck he's in there really good, locked in there really good. You can see it's never been out. But this box, guys, A, it's extremely heavy. B, very durable. Good grade of cardboard, stock of cardboard that they must have used on this box. Very heavy. The design, the art, everything. Very colorful. A great shot of Buck. Got his name here, but you can see him clearly, and we're going to show you some examples of packaging fails from toy companies as well. I want to see, as a M.I.B. collector, I want to see my figures. I'm not taking them out. I want them to be displayed beautifully where I can see every aspect of the figure, from head to toe. All of his weapons, everything in full view. And I know people say, well, M.I.B., you're asking a lot. But guys, you have to look at it. Put yourself in my shoes and the shoes of millions of M.I.B. collectors, mint in box collectors that want to keep their figures in pristine condition in the box because the box is so beautiful. Why would I destroy this box, guys? It's so beautiful. But you have to put yourself in our shoes. Are we picky? Are we asking for too much? Maybe, guys. You know, maybe. But at the end of the day, it's still how we want to see our figures displayed. And this Buck Rogers figure from Zyka Toys is an excellent example of beautiful packaging. Just a beautiful packaging system with this Buck Rogers figure. Zyka Toys knew exactly. They are, for one, this figure is extremely limited. So they knew who they were marketing to. Adult collectors that more than likely wouldn't take this figure out. This is not directed at a kid. These figures were not intended for kids. These were intended for adult collectors that more than likely just simply weren't going to take these figures out to begin with. And this figure is one of my favorites. Thank you very much, Lonnie Fisher. You are the man. Guys, your thoughts, your opinions, as we make our way through the museum today to really check out a lot of these fantastic boxed and carded figures, the designs, the card art, things of that nature, guys. Leave your thoughts and your opinions right underneath this video, guys, in the comment section. This guy's a little dusty here. Should have dusted this guy off, guys. I apologize. Everything's not dusted off. You know, dusting these things, I can make a whole video about that as well. The care and upkeep of these boxed and carded figures. Find yourself dusting a little bit more often. Here is our Biff Bang Pow Doctor Who, officially licensed product, Doctor Who figure here. Morbius. Morbius comes in a more of a retro Mego style card. Now, these cards, super heavy. The card stock, whatever cardboard they used, it's beautiful. I would love to see actually Mego Corporation really go back to that card. Now, it might be too expensive, but it's super duper heavy, extremely heavy. Stood the test of time though, right? You have a clear shot here of Morbius in all of his glory. This is just a beautiful figure. Very well done by Biff Bang Pow. But it's the card. You have the beautiful card art with the other figures. Like I said, it's that retro style, Mego style artwork design. The plastic is extremely durable. Very easy to clean as well. So that's another thing about the plastics that are used. Some plastics are extremely thin in design and material that they use for these bubble blister plastics. And I've seen a lot over the time where the cheaper materials of this plastic will break down and crack very easily. They become very brittle-like, and I know you guys know what I'm talking about. We've seen a lot of old figures do that over the course of time, become very brittle in nature and tend to crack or break very easily. Not the case with our Biff Bang Pow design here on the plastic. Beautifully done. And you get a back shot of the card. Need I say more as far as just the pure beauty and design of this card? Seeing all your figures. Very vibrant. Searching for a year here. No. 2012. So this came out in 2012, and as you can see, it looks like it just came off the toy store shelf. This was not geared at a child. This was geared at an adult collector. So a lot of that, we have, as adult collectors, we have the market now being really designed for us. But we're going to move some of these guys out the way and bring a couple more examples in to kind of show you some more beautiful designs and some fails at the same time. So hold on one second, guys. And we are back, guys. We're going to jump right into one of the fails here of packaging, the packaging design, box design. We're looking at our 2018 Mego Batman figure. Mego's first release of the 14-inch Batman figure. Love the figure. Hated the box. Let's bring him over here. The first thing you notice about this box comes to mind. Batman's head is practically completely cut off. Can't really see it. Now, Mego has since corrected that, and we'll show you an example of that as well, but they have since corrected that issue. And as an M.I.B collector, this drove me absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, guys. I'm sipping on my coffee here. It's not so much as the design of the box. I should say the art of the box. That's not the issue. It's the issue is just simply the fact that you can't see the figure. And you have to kind of get under there to see them. So that was the whole problem with the design of this box. But like I said, Mego has been working on that throughout the years with their 14-inch figures, the designing of their boxes. And they've done a beautiful job. I believe they have truly perfected the design of their boxes now. We'll just here. Let's see, we'll move him out the way. We'll bring in, let's see, who do I want to bring in? Let's bring in some NECA stuff here. NECA's figured it out from day one. They have boxed and carded figures. We'll use a box version here of our Nada They Live NECA figure from the awesome movie They Live. Everything is beautifully displayed. Box design. They use very durable, heavy construction of cardboard. Extremely important, guys. Nada here, you see here, is really snug inside of this box. Extremely snug. Everything is on full display, like I said. His pistol, extra head sculpt here, and a shotgun. All on display in plain view. That's beautifully done. Beautifully done, guys. So NECA has figured it out a long time ago. They are catering exclusively to adult collectors. And when you're doing that, you're thinking how a adult collector thinks. So NECA has figured all of that out. They know the majority of adult collectors will not take this out of the box. And if they do, they've designed a system with the packaging that will aid in being able to restore the figure back inside of the packaging. All the little nooks and crannies that are designed to house each accessory, you can just fit it right back in there, including the figure. Nice and snug. He's got the fasteners on him. It's just thinking outside of the box, thinking for collectors. And as an M.I.B. collector, I absolutely love it. This Nada figure is one of my favorites. I think I'm just partial to the movie, though. Your thoughts, though, guys? We'll keep this moving. We want to hear all that right in the comment section, right underneath this video. Here is one of my all-time favorites from David Lee and Jason Schiermeyer. The Action Jackson 50th anniversary 2-pack set. The modern version and a vintage version. On a big, bold, beautiful, gigantic card, blister card, that holds two figures perfectly. Once again, David and Jason are thinking for adult collectors. The art deco on this card, the vibrant colors, just the sheer size of this card. Everything is beautiful. But this is where this beautiful packaging system takes another step forward. It separates itself from a standard carded figure. As you can see, the locking systems here. This card is not glued to excuse me guys, like I said, I need to drink some more coffee. The bubble blister is not glued to this card. It's all separated. The card is separate, individual from the blister part packaging. So you can actually remove these figures and place them back in. And they've even down to the ties, the twist ties. They've made it where basically you can put these figures back in and you can lock them back in with the twisty ties. Where I don't know if you can quite do that. Once these ties are snapped away from Nada here on the NECA figure, that's it. You can still put him back in, but you can't tie him back in. You can, however, do that with the Action Jackson 2-pack set. Both of these beautiful figures can be restored as if they never left their packaging. For those of you just have to take them out, like I said, I'm M.I.B collector, so I take nothing out ever. And I would never take these two beautiful figures out of this beautiful card anyway, because they are, once again, they are displayed so beautifully. Why would I? This is, however, at the end of the day, a museum. And we want to display our figures and really show them to you, but you can see them quite nicely in this format. But this is one of the most beautiful examples of the evolution of the carded figure, where there's no glue involved. You're not going to destroy this packaging by pulling it away from its card. The card is separate from the packaging. You can't lose. And it's a clamshell. You can't beat it, guys. We move on to our FTC Shazam Window Box. Now, the Window Box came out in the early 1970s. Mego created the Window Box, and a lot of that was created because store owners complained about patrons removing the figure simply because they couldn't see it. You know, it was just all boxed, so they couldn't see it. So Mego came up with a fantastic idea of creating a window box. So now you can actually look inside and see the figure without removing him and doing damage to the box. So our Shazam here, it's on display here. You can see him perfectly. Now, is it a perfect system? Not by any stretch, but FTC merely wanted to replicate that Mego retro style window box. Box art, all of that's it's beautiful in design. So it didn't have to be super perfect, especially if you were a kid of the 1970s. It didn't have to be super perfect. Our Superman Kretzky card FTC figure. Another beautiful version. And we're going to get you something else real quick. Hold on, guys. One sec. Okay, we're back, guys. So the Kretzky card, once again, was created by Mego in the 1970s. Another beautiful card design and packaging design, showing all of the figure. So now you didn't have the boxed figures anymore. The card was the figure was able to be displayed perfectly, standing, and to me a better stance for the figure. They wanted to be able, store owners wanted to be able to hang the figure And this is FTC's beautiful rendition of the Kresge card, which is fantastic. And a lot of different companies use this Kresge card packaging style now. Kresge was the name of the store before I believe they became Kmart. So the name Kresge just stuck with the card. That's who started carrying them first. But as you can see, the Superman locked in really good. This stuff is extra right here from FTC. This didn't exist back in the 1970s. The figure was just placed in there. And also this figure is on a tray. Another beautiful setup for the figure. Beautiful packaging though. You can't lose with this packaging. Why would I want to take this figure off the card as an M.I.B collector, guys? I know all you loose figure collectors would be cursing me out right now. But this Superman figure is fantastic, just the way he is. Perfectly designed. He's even got an extra little S. Although we don't handle our figures here, so this S shouldn't come off here. Beautifully designed. But I want to show you another FTC design for the Mego figures that was done in the 1970s as well. But same design as the Action Jackson. These cards, FTC designed the cards where they are separate from the blister packaging. There's no glue involved. You don't destroy the beauty of this card by trying to take this apart. It's a clamshell system as well. Beautiful art. So I know a lot of collectors tell me now they're kicking themselves. They wish they can go back in a time machine as a kid and slap their younger versions of themselves because they were destroying the cards. But guys, we were kids back then, and you know, we played with our toys back then. So yeah, in that case, I would jump in a time machine and slap my 8 or 9-year-old self as well for doing it. But you're thinking as a collector now. You can't think like that. But a lot of beautiful cards were destroyed because of that. And here we have Batman, beautiful style Batman as well. Justice League of America Special Edition from FTC. Same system, different card though. It's a smaller, the more square card. You see our Batman figures in here though. But the clam style system really changed the game. It gave collectors the ability to make a choice that would not damage the card. And that's what's important, guys. That's what's ultimately important. Guys, we're moving right along. This is fun, guys. I'm seeing a lot of these figures I haven't really looked at in a while. So it's always cool to pull these guys from their display areas here at the museum to kind of take another look at them and kind of show you guys. And we want to talk about, I didn't want to leave on a negative note with Mego, but here is the newest design, box design that they have. And we'll use our 14-inch Mr. Spock figure. Mego ultimately has got it right. This is the evolution of the 14-inch box. Everything is in plain view. Gone are the days where you can't see him right here, that extra cardboard coming across. You don't have that anymore. The figure is in plain view. He's set up beautifully, displayed in there. Quick note, somebody said that Spock is missing his tricorder. He was supposed to come with a tricorder. If somebody has information on that, leave it in the comment section right underneath this video, guys. When I see things like that, or I hear things like that, I like to, bring it up. We'll get the chatter started about that. But we didn't, like I said, we didn't want to leave on a negative note with Mego. He comes with extra hands that are in plain view. As you can see, it's got the system where it's really in those nook and crannies where you can just place them right back in there if you want to take this figure out. Our 14-inch Spock is for museum purposes only. He's on display, so he'll never come out of his box, but this box is beautiful. Guys, we're going to keep this fun moving. Hold on 1 second. We have more figures to show you, and we'll be wrapping it up, guys. Hold on 1 second. Guys, we are back, and I'm going to start right here with my Evel Knievel from California Creations. They remade, reproduced a beautiful reproduction of the Evel Knievel stunt cycle, along with Evel Knievel. You remember this beautiful figure from the 1970s. Most kids had it, and if you couldn't, you just simply couldn't afford it. I was one of the unfortunate kids that could not afford this figure. My parents just simply couldn't afford it. There were 4 of us. I had 3 siblings along with myself, so this was out of the question. But my next door neighbor did have one, so I played with his, and it was a fun thing, you know, making this figure jump over stuff. However, this was pretty much the packaging it came in. There was no window box because, once again, who are you catering to? You're not catering to adult collectors. You're catering to kids. You have a plain view, beautiful view picture of how the figure looks set up. They're showing you how it works. Beautiful artwork, you name it. Seeing this as a kid, I could care less that I couldn't see the actual figure. It didn't really bother me. Saw this in the stores and still wanted it. Didn't get it, but still wanted it. I think they did a great job. I believe Ideal made this. They did a great job at promoting this and doing the box art. Packaging system was set up beautifully. You know, you just couldn't see it though. You couldn't see the actual toy. So that would be a headache. It's a headache now as an M.I.B. collector. That's why I tell you guys a lot of times it's hard to do reviews on certain things I have and I have a lot here at the museum, the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. This is very difficult to do a review on because you can't see the actual toy. The toy is packed in there quite nicely, you know, and you just can't do it. You can't do it. No way. You can't do it. But this is how it appeared back in the 1970s on toy store shelves. And we go from that to this. One of the best and most beautiful toy packaging systems of all time. You're looking at the famous cover series, Marvel Comics, from Toy Biz. This is my Iron Man. This was set up extremely beautiful. It was set up like a comic book. And let me see if I can move some stuff around here. Let me move my... Let me set this guy here. There we go. I don't want to hurt anything, but I want this guy front and center. So here is my famous cover series, Iron Man. Beautifully done. Set up perfectly. You can see the figure. You can see what you're going to get. Once again, though, this is the late 1990s, I believe. So this is being catered to adult collectors, not necessarily children. But as kids, I'm sure back in the late 1990s, kids saw this and wanted it. Beautiful artwork, design. You see the actual comic book, a Marvel Comics comic book here. This is an actual issue. But the cool part here, the introduction, I don't want to hurt my guy back here, the introduction of the Velcro snap. As you can see, it took a lot to get it out of there, to open it up, which is good. Then it opens like this, that comic book setup, and then you have the toy itself. Never been out of his box. He's still got the tape over it, the little, with the plastic tab over his chest piece there. And you can see he's embedded beautifully inside of the card, inside of the box, the packaging. Beautiful packaging, guys. Toy Biz really had it right with the box design. They made it so that you could, and he doesn't have any plastic fasteners or anything like that, where you could, you have to, you know, the twisty ties, you have to take all that stuff off. He was just laid in there and tucked in there, real snug like. And our Iron Man is for museum purposes, but just to give you a great idea of how this whole card is set up beautifully. Beautifully done. And last but not least, we'll move down here to one of my favorites, the Star Wars Collector Series. Here's another beautiful box design here. And the cool part about this is our Grand Moff Tarkin, an Imperial Gunner with an interrogator droid. The box flips up, revealing the two beautiful figures. Cherry mint, pristine condition figures. Never been out of their box. There's Grand Moff Tarkin there. There's our interrogator droid. And here's our Imperial Gunner, locked in there beautifully. And the box doubled as a diorama, but you would have to cut the box and do all that stuff. And this is a museum piece now. But to give you just to see how shiny it is, it's got a lot of glare here. But the flip motion of this box, where now I tell you this, I would have loved if they had a Velcro snap there that would hold this down. But it just gave you a good idea of the box and how evolution and how the toy companies cater to the toy collectors, especially the adult toy collectors. A flip out box I thought was really cool. But guys, that's just a small, I mean, I can do this all day, but that's just a small portion of the different box designs, packaging designs that we have here at the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. And I love all of them. You can see, like I said, I can't say this enough, you could see the evolution of how these designs and different types of styles have changed over the course of years, decades actually. But once again, we want to give special thanks to David Miller. This was really his brainchild to create this this video. Guys, if you have ideas for videos, things you want to see, let us know, guys, in the comment section. If we can do it, we'll try to do it. Guys, you know the routine. God bless. Stay safe and keep collecting.